अर्जुन उवाच
अर्जुन उवाच
सेनयोर्भयोर्मध्ये रथं स्थापय मे अच्युत यावादेतान् निरीक्षेऽहम् योद्धुकामानवस्थितान् मया सह योद्धव्यम् अस्मिन् रणसमुद्रे अर्जुन उवाच सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये रथं स्थापय मे अच्युत यावादेतान् निरीक्षेऽहम् योद्धुकामान् अवस्थितान् मया सह योद्धव्यम् अस्मिन् रणसमुद्यमे अर्जुन उवाच सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये स्थापय मे अच्युत यावादेतान् निरीक्षेऽहम् योद्धुकामान् अवस्थितान् मया सह योद्धव्यम् अस्मिन् रणसमुद्यमे अर्जुन उवाच सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये रथं स्थापयाम्यच्युत एतान् निरीक्षयामः अस्मिन् रणसमुद्यमे
अर्जुन उवाच सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये रथं स्थापयमेच्युत निरीक्षेऽहम् योद्धुकामान् अवस्थितान् योद्धव्यम् अस्मिन् रणसमुद्यमे
अर्जुन उवाच सेनयोर्भयोर्मध्ये रथं स्थापय मे अच्युत यावदेतान् निरीक्षेऽहम् योद्धुकामान् अवस्थितान् मया सह योद्धव्यम् अस्मिन् रणसमुद्यमे
अर्जुन उवाच सेनयोर्भयोर्मध्ये मया सह
Super. Very, very well.
अर्जुन उच्चावान् सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये रथं स्थापयाम्यच्युत यावदेतान् निरीक्षेऽहम् योद्धुकामान् अवस्थानतान्
योद्धुकामानवस्थितान्
कैर्मया सह योद्धव्यम्
कैर्मया सह योद्धव्यम्
अस्मिन् रणसमुद्यमे
अस्मिन् रणसमुद्यमे
अर्जुनोवाच
अर्जुन उवाच
सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये
सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये
रथं स्थापयमे अच्युत
रथं स्थापयमे अच्युत
यावदेता निरीक्षेऽहम्
यावानेतां निरीक्षेऽहम्
योद्धुकामानवस्थितान्
योद्धुकामानवस्थितान्
कैर्मया सह योद्धव्यम्
कैर्मया सह योद्धव्यम्
अस्मिन् रणसमुद्यमे
अस्मिन् रणसमुद्यमे
अर्जुन उवाच
अर्जुन उवाच
सेनयोर्मध्ये
सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये
स्थापनं गच्छताम्
रथं स्थापयमे अच्युत
या
वाद
यावद् एतं निरीक्षेऽहम्
यावानेतां निरीक्षेऽहम्
योद्धुकामानवस्थितान्
योद्धुकामानवस्थितान्
युद्धम्
कैर्मया सह योद्धव्यम्
रणसमुद्यमे
अस्मिन् रणसमुद्यमे
Word to word translation. Arjuna.
Arjuna.
Uvacha.
Uvacha.
Said.
Said.
Senayo.
Senayo.
Of the armies.
Of the armies.
Ubayo.
Ubayo.
Of both parties.
Of both parties.
Madhye.
Madhye.
In between them.
In between them,
Ratham.
The chariot.
The chariot.
Stapaya.
Stapaya,
Please keep.
Please keep.
May. Mine. Achyuta.
Achyuta.
O infallible one.
O
O
infallible
infallible
one,
one.
Yavad.
Yavad.
As long as. Etan.
Etan.
All these.
All these.
Nirikshe.
Nirikshe.
May look.
May look.
Aham.
Aham.
I.
I.
Yodhukama.
Yoddukama.
Desiring to fight.
Desiring to fight.
Avastita.
Avasthitam.
Arrayed on the battlefield.
arrayed
On the battlefield.
Hey.
King.
With whom?
With whom?
Maya.
Maya.
By me.
by me,
Saha.
Saha.
With.
With.
Yodhavyam.
Yodhavyam.
To fight with.
To
Fight
fight
with.
with.
Asmin.
Asmin.
In this.
In this.
Rana.
Rana.
Strife.
strive
Samudhyame.
Samudhyame.
In the attempt.
in the attempt.
Translation. Arjuna said, O infallible one, please draw my chariot between the two armies so that I may see who is present here, who is desirous of fighting, and with whom I must contend in this great battle attempt. Everybody can read one sentence.
Although Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, out of his causeless mercy, he was engaged in the service of his friend.
He never fails in his affection for his devotees and thus he is addressed herein as infallible.
As charioteer, he had to carry out the orders of Arjuna, and since he did not hesitate to do so, he is addressed as infallible.
Although he had accepted the position of a charioteer for his devotees, his supreme position was not challenged.
In all circumstances, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Rishikesh as the Lord of total senses.
The relationship between the Lord and his servitor is very sweet and transcendental. The servitor is always, and similarly, the Lord is always seeking an opportunity to render some service to the devotee. He takes great pleasure in his pure devotees, assuming the advantageous position of ordering him than he does in being the giver of orders.
As master, everyone is under his orders, and no one is above him to order him.
Prabhupada,
But when he finds that a devotee is ordering him, he obtains transcendental pleasure, although he is the infallible master of all circumstances. As a pure devotee of the Lord, Arjuna had no desire to fight with his cousins and brothers, but he was forced to come onto the battlefield by the obstinacy of Duryodhana, who was never agreeable to any peaceful negotiation.
therefore, he was very anxious to see who the leading persons present on the battlefield were. Although there was no question of a peacemaking endeavor on the battlefield, he wanted to see them again and to see how much they were bent upon demanding an unwanted war.
Oh, that's it.
Prabhupada.
So, Prabhupada,
Jai.
so this is very interesting words. There are a lot of layers of meanings inside this simple text. Sometimes, especially I remember when I just was becoming a devotee, my mother was surprised. She said, "You never even wanted to go to a temple. I never seen you go to a temple whenever you were growing up with me. Now I see you are chanting and reciting Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. How is it possible?" So she could not believe it actually. It's 30 years now. She can struggle. She struggles with that fact. I mean, she can't digest it. And same is the fact with every single devotee who became a disciple of Srila Prabhupada. They're expertly speaking all the verses, everything from the Gita, and they can give a lot of insight into this. So this entire Bhagavad Gita is actually called confidential knowledge. Confidential, how is it confidential? Because everything is open book, like you can just buy for $10 or $20 that you can buy a book, and how is it confidential anymore? Everybody can buy one, you can download one. So how is it even confidential? What is it that we are even talking about in this verse, right? Somebody might ask. So the secret is revealed when the disciple follows the order of the Guru. That is when this key is opened. You will find all the techniques of how to approach the Gita later on in the Bhagavad Gita itself. So there was this one devotee. There is a story of this one nice devotee who was ordered by his guru. Every day he's supposed to read Bhagavad Gita. That's what the guru told him. So, but actually he was illiterate. He does not even know how to read and write. But every time he catches a book, sometimes he doesn't know even how to hold the book properly. So he holds the book, and then everybody else in the ashram, they mock at him and say, "You don't even know how to read and write, but how is it that you are holding the book?" So he was being mocked at, but he knows they are just making fun of me, and he doesn't bother to reply to that. But then at that point, there was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He actually saw others making fun of him, catching the book like that. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again asked the same question, but this time that devotee could understand Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not mocking at him. He was very sincerely inquiring. Then he asked him, "What is it that you are trying to do?" Then he says, "My guru ordered me to read, but I don't know. As soon as I catch this book and I see the cover, all of us have seen the same cover picture, right? The same, Krishna riding the chariot and Arjuna sitting there. He says, I just tears come out of my eyes. He says, why? Why does it come out like that? Then he says, I see Krishna is the Supreme Lord. He's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But then he is supposed to control the entire world At his command, everything is going on. Here, Arjuna is sitting and giving command to Krishna. He's telling, you go there, you take right, you take left, just like you tell a taxi driver. Aage jao, right leg, left leg. Then the taxi driver doesn't protest. He'll take you wherever it is, like an ordinary servant. Like that, when I see actually Arjuna should be riding and Krishna should be sitting, when I see this compassion, how great the Supreme Lord is, he's bowing down to his own devotee. Just by seeing that, tears come on my eyes. Now that's the same sloka we are talking right now. Arjuna is actually telling, hey Krishna, take me to the middle. I want to see everybody's face. He's giving an order, actually he's giving a command. Tenayor Vayor Madhye, Ratham Stapayame Arjuna, Achyuta. So then there are so many other insights that we are talking about. Srila Prabhupada is talking about how he's addressing Krishna as Achyuta. Achyuta means one who never fails. So he doesn't, Krishna is not thinking, oh, this devotee is making a command, I should not accept it. He's not thinking like that. He never fails. Krishna never fails. So he's Achyuta. It's one of the beautiful names. Then like that, actually, if you take out every word of Krishna and make an analysis, there's a beautiful thread you get out of it. And here, and before also, there was a word used, Rishikesha. Rishikesha was used to address Krishna. So what does Rishikesha mean? Rishikesha means who's a master of the senses. Krishna actually controls the senses of his devotees. He's a master. So when a pure devotee, when he's seemingly bewildered, it looks like Arjuna is bewildered. Actually, Arjuna is a great devotee. He's a pure devotee. There is no reason for him to be bewildered. But then, when he is getting bewildered, how is it happening? It is by the control of Krishna. Krishna has created a situation so that Arjuna is acting in an ordinary manner like us. We are also sometimes very materially affected. All emotions, everything depend on our bodily connections, on our extended bodily connections, our family members and all that. So here to mention that actually Arjuna is not acting on a bodily consciousness, on a bodily platform. Rather, he is controlled. His senses are controlled by the Supreme Lord. He is addressed as Rishikesha. Now, in this case, Krishna is addressed as Achyuta, just to mention that he is never on the material platform. Also, the very word Krishna means, just like we know the word Akarshana. Akarshana, the root word is Krish. Krish. Krish means magnet, like a magnet which attracts. So Krishna means also which attracts. So the spiritual master, the Guru, orders the disciple just recite every day, chant your names of Krishna, read Bhagavad Gita every day. As you keep doing that, you get more and more insights, and that is how this confidential knowledge reveals little by little to us. That is the secret in understanding the secrets of the Bhagavad Gita. Also here, Prabhupada is explaining how Arjuna was not having any intention of, withdrawing or anything like that from the battle at that point. At that point, he was still wanting to see who are the people so adamant that they want to be on the other side of Duryodhan to fight against me. That's all. He just wanted to see who are these people. They're supposed to be my friends and family members. He wanted to take a look at them. So that was the main takeaway from these words. I can pause here to take any question or comment.
It was like a one last attempt to see if people would back out. It is an unwarranted reward,
Yeah,
just wants to see. I think God always gives those last chances, really. We as humans don't see it.
no. Actually, Krishna was a peace messenger. He tried his best to make peace. He said even without consulting the Pandavas, he told they are very simple people. Just give them 5 villages, each one village, because they are Kshatriyas. They can't take employment like that. So even that Duryodhan was not willing. So yeah. You want to add anything from?
Um, Well, God mentions in the purport, Krishna, he takes great pleasure in his pure devotees assuming the advantageous position.
Yeah, of ordering. Yeah. So that's actually again a very great revelation. How generally people come to only one stage, one level of understanding who God is. Very superficially, people, if they are not on a devotional path, they can understand portions of the Supreme Lord in a very, very small way. Like suppose some people might think the nature itself is God. That's how they describe. A lot of poets, a lot of philosophers, everybody describes nature as the closest representative how the creator is, you can appreciate, but very impersonal. That's one level. There are so many other yogis who also practice yoga, who become practice selflessness, naishkarmya, all these things they practice. Even they do not get the full understanding of who God is. Even if they become expert in jnana yoga, they might get a glimpse of Brahmajyoti. But that's just like light, which is beyond this material world, they get that. And even higher than that, there are yogis who get atomic level, at a very finest atomic level, they can see the Supreme Lord's part as Paramatma. They can also experience a little bit. But still, they also do not have, just like Bhagavatam explains, suppose you take a fastest flight you have and you travel for 1 year, how far it will take you? Very, very far. So like that, the yogis, at the speed of the mind, even if they are traveling for millions of years, they can reach only a glimpse of the tip of the toe of the Lord. They cannot get more than that. They cannot understand more than that. Just like suppose if I catch a very powerful halogen lamp, okay, and I put it on. So your eyes are blank. Can you see my face?
No.
You cannot. Why? Because the effulgence is so great that you cannot actually see the person behind that light, right? The same way, all the great yogis, all the sages, whoever are trying to understand God can maximum try to get a glimpse of that light of the Lord. But they cannot go beyond that. Only by the mercy of a pure devotee, these devotees get a glimpse beyond the light, the person, and not just that person, not only to understand the qualities of that person, not just to play with that person, but to command and control that person. So, how can God be controlled? If God is controlled, that means He's not God, right? How can God be controlled? But here you see, God is being controlled, He's being commanded. So, that is the deepest insight that one can get. That's the most confidential knowledge. So that is possible again only by the mercy of a pure devotee. Otherwise, it is not. Otherwise, it's law. That secret is law. And that is what, even though it is in a very simple way, Prabhupada has mentioned in one sentence here, that is the depth we have to explore. In the later texts of the Bhagavad Gita, you will see how Krishna actually wants, just like now the child is there, he is actually controlling the parents, right? He's so small.
That small baby.
Small
So
baby.
she
They are
can-
controlling. So small they are. But parents love to be controlled. Why? Because we love them. Exactly. And that is why Krishna acts or allows himself to be controlled by his devotee. And this love right now is only displayed to material things and material objects and material connections, affections. When it is transferred to the spirit, it becomes spiritual when we learn to transfer that affection towards the Supreme Lord, then the purpose of human life becomes perfect. So that confidential aspect is what we have to strive for. Right now, we all are striving for so many things in this world. But with the idea that is going to give us happiness. Why are we learning so many computer courses, this course, that course? We go to university, we study, we get a degree. Why? Because that is going to give us some job. That will give us some big money. And that money will give us happiness. So in pursuit of happiness, we are ready to take so much trouble. We take so much trouble to get how much happiness? This much. Whatever happiness is our definition we work for, we get it, but how long does it last? Immediately it fades away. You think, oh, I did get that, but then maybe I should get another goal. We keep on changing our goal. We are trying to constantly look for some other happiness because that happiness is very transient. So when we learn to transfer this affection towards the Supreme Lord, then we will come to a platform called as Brahma Bhuta platform, where you can be self-satisfied. You satisfied in your own self. When you come to that stage, and that is, it looks like very difficult. It is difficult if you take other paths of yoga. But if you are taking the path of devotion under the shelter of a pure devotee, it is not difficult. Bhagavatam says, Na ati dirghena. Means dirgha kalam means very long it takes. But it says, Bhagavatam says, no, na ati dirghena. Nati dirghena. Very soon, Bhagavan Vishate Hridihi. He will be established in our heart. He is already there. But it is confidential. You cannot see. But then you will start to see him. So the secret again goes back to following strictly what the spiritual master has ordered. And that will reveal one by one key, just like we have that combination lock, right? You do this lock combination, but unless you get all the combination right, you cannot open the lock. This is also like that. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol,
Hari
she
Bol,
said
she
something,
said.
yeah. Hari Bol. So we'll
Yeah.
stop here or
Sure.
no, we can stop here and anybody has any point to share?
And
I was gonna say, the names Arjuna uses throughout Bhagavad Achita, like
Rishi.
throughout Bhagavad Gita, he uses how many names?
Yeah.
Oh, lots of names. I didn't count, but it's a good project. I can.
We did
count.
actually in the beginning when we started the Friday class, we used to write actually all the
Every
names.
time we
Every
find a
time a
new
new
word,
name would come, we
he's
used to write.
asking, did you do the count?
We haven't, but there are also names of Arjuna.
Arjuna also.
Arjuna.
Yeah. Gudakesha, which are the
Yeah.
names there?
To
Gudakesha.
tell, there is a relevance. Every time a particular word for Arjuna also is used.
Yeah.
Just to show that he's not an ordinary
Yeah.
student.
Yeah.
His Gudakesha means who is conquered even sleep.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to sleep. Generally for us, all four things, eating, sleeping, mating, defending.
Yeah.
We are dependent on these things because we believe we are the body.
Yeah.
But Arjuna, no. He doesn't need to eat, he doesn't need to sleep.
Yeah.
So such a person, how can he be bewildered? It is not
Yeah.
like that.
I mean, doesn't need like his whole life, he can like stay.
Can stay. Actually, it will be a surprise. There is a last days of Prabhupada. If you read Prabhupada's conversations, he said, I've come to the stage, I'm actually on the Brahma Buddha stage. I don't need to even eat now. Krishna is kind, he gave me a situation, I don't even have to eat. So he started even eating. So that's possible, very much possible. In fact, what did Bhishma then do?
For months, he didn't.
Yeah, until Ekadashi came, he was not even eating and he was sleeping on the bed of arrows.
He was not even sleeping
He
actually.
was not even sleeping.
He was completely meditating and he was.
You read that conversation. Prabhupada saying.
So we'll stop here.
Bhagavad Gita Path ki
Yeah, Srila Prabhupada.
Prabhupada ki jai. We have little prasadam.